No, fuck it. That's how we're starting it. What's up, lightsaber dickskins? Welcome to Good Enough, the show that is slightly above average, or as some might say, just good enough. We're a tattoo artist located out of some city, most likely in a state somewhere, probably within the U.S., most likely on the planet Earth. Who fucking knows?
Hopefully, yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Today we're going to be talking about a topic that's, I wouldn't say controversial, but it's more of a debate type of thing.
More opinionated stuff.
Within the tattoo community of whether iPad's better or paper's better. It's pretty much a battle, and it's been going on for quite a while. Ever since Procreate was created.
Yeah. Conceived, from whenever Procreate was conceived.
Yes. So
the initial idea for this podcast was there was a guy that me and Cody follow. I think I sent you the video too. He's a well-known tattoo artist. He ended up taking a lot of his templates and stuff like that and made them public.
Yeah.
So his explanation behind it was basically like if people see things that the way he draws or anything else, he put this stuff on the internet that people could purchase. So that way, if they wanted to learn, like basically trace his shit, but like understand how he did certain things, that's why he did it. He got a lot of shit. A lot of shit. Mm-hmm. People calling him a sellout.
Can we name drop him?
I don't remember his name off the top of my head.
Dave Tattoos?
I thought it was the Tevnol guy.
That's Dave Tattoos. That's his Instagram.
Then him.
Yeah, I would say his Instagram name.
Yeah.
So what bothered me about it is that I don't feel like he should have got as much shit as he did. There's a lot of people basically saying like, "Fuck that!" Like, I get the point about using templates and shit like that, but that wasn't his intention for people just to copy.
Yeah, I understand.
His whole intention was for people to take it and learn.
Yeah, I get it.
Pretty much like the whole sketchbook thing.
Exactly.
You get sketchbooks so you can learn how to, at least the structure of stuff is, I guess.
Honestly, I see there's two sides of that coin. You know what I'm saying? One, I get it. Because, people are already ripping his shit off anyways, so he might as well make money and capitalize on it.
Right. I mean, he's a phenomenal artist.
Oh, hell yeah, hands down, one of the best, and, his style, graffiti and everything, he's top notch. So I get it, he wanted to capitalize on his stuff. Mm-hmm. On the other hand, I also see it as just a cop-out for other artists that they don't have to draw anymore. And that's what I don't really like about it.
See, I mean, but...
Yeah,
then
it can go both ways.
Because then it goes to the sketchbook thing,
sketchbook things, you can trace things out of a sketchbook.
It would take more work.
It takes more work, but it's still very much possible. People still very much do it.
Yeah.
So I get it. It's good for referencing and stuff. Yeah. I just lean more towards for iPad as a tool to speed up your process instead of doing it for you.
See, I find the iPad was made more just to further the development of a style almost. Exactly. It makes it a little bit more efficient.
It's more convenient. You have every brush, every color. You know what I mean. You never have to worry about sharpening your pencil.
Pen,
you
marker.
Never have to worry about losing your pigments or losing your tools and everything. Everything's there to your disposal.
Every single color, any color you could possibly think of. You could even make new colors if you fucking wanted to.
Exactly. So brushes and stuff. And textures, I think, is perfect. The only thing I try to steer away from is templates, like rose sheets. You know what I mean? One click of a button, you got a rose.
Yeah.
One click of a button, you got a leaf.
Cat head.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Because that kind of just takes the whole artistic thing out of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because my whole thing is, if somebody comes up to you and says, "I want a rose," okay? Mm-hmm. You being a tattoo artist, you should be able to draw a rose in front of them. That, to me, that makes me more confident in my artist. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So you for you to be able to sit there and watch them.
But I'm not
draw
shitting on anybody that does it. Because what if you're learning? You know what I'm saying? When I first started drawing when I was in 7th grade. You know what I mean? I traced everything.
Yeah.
I traced everything because I wanted to learn how to do certain things. So I would trace the same rows over and over and over again until I learned how to draw that specific rose for my head.
See, I can feel that too, because I used to trace all kinds of shit.
Yeah, and then after that, I just took off from there, and I started using what I learned from tracing as muscle memory, and then I can change things as I go. Everything.
See, I've never really. I've traced a lot, right?
Everybody.
But
does.
most of it was I have a sheet of paper, and I saw something, and I'm like, fuck it, I wanna try to draw it. And obviously, whenever I was little, it would look like shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, me kind of starting off like, I do shit the hard way. I always do it the hard way.
You don't sketch.
I don't. But I mean, I remember the first thing I ever drew. I was 8 years old, and I had Mortal Kombat trading cards.
Yeah.
And I took the card to my mom, who is a phenomenal artist, asked her to draw it for me. And I wished I would have thought about tracing, because I went
You were
back.
copied by your eyes.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong.
And
Like,
that's perfect.
learning that, I can do that shit now.
Yeah.
I can look at anything and it'd be fucking identical to
And I
it.
say you already
Takes
had a
me
step.
goddamn
You already
forever.
had a step above me, because when I started drawing, I couldn't do that. I couldn't look at something and then recreate it. I didn't have that capability until I learned muscle memory by tracing.
Right, but I went through 3 stacks of fucking typing paper, redrawing that scorpion,
Yeah, so
looking at
you-
my mom's picture.
See that,
And
man.
just-
I can't. The whole reason I think I've even learned how to sketch before I knew what sketching was is when I was looking at something, and every time I would try to draw it, one line would be too fucking long, a chin would look like a triangle, it'd be too pointy, shit like that, and then I'm like, this feels like it would be a lot easier if I would just
Make a little sketch.
get the measurements,
get
the
the
scale
shape first. Do the initial shape of it. You know
the
what I mean?
scale of it
then
down.
add some minor
Yeah.
details. You know what I'm saying?
Like the chest is this big compared to the
Yeah.
waist. The head's this big where the
It's
shoulders
like,
go.
It's
You
like,
know what I mean?
It's like painting from light to dark. You know what I'm saying? You start very basic,
Yeah.
and then you add as you go on.
Yeah.
But
So
see- Go ahead.
I just find it harder to be able to look at something without sketching and just go straight like line for line, almost like that.
Trying to do perfect
what I
line the
mean?
first time.
It'd be like painting, right? Like if I painted him, or fuck, even Medusa, I had to sketch them out. I sketched her out with a white pencil color,
Yeah.
and then whenever I started painting her, I was pretty much sketching with the oil paint. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Exactly.
I was still getting where her eyes should go. I still had my reference picture, and I would still measure exactly like, okay, I would put. I have
You do
different
that
ways.
you do that with Gandalf too.
I do
huh?
that with pretty much everything. I have different ways of like measuring where things go. If it's on the iPad, you can kind of zoom in and pull it down.
Yeah.
So that's how you see if one eye is lower than the other. So I look at that and then I make sure, okay, well, one eye is lower than the other, but one pupil's kind of sticking out this way. You know what? Her nose is cocked that way. One snake's up here, one snake's down there, and then you go back and forth, and it's just a constant thing of a back and forth motion,
So with sketching, microns, fucking all this other shit, like it seems like everything that we've talked about, going through that much paper like I did, not having to worry about sharpening anything, losing anything, paying for anything. Fucking microns are $22 a pack.
That's
Insane.
for 5.
And that's
right?
for 5 of
That's
them.
for 5, yeah.
And fucking Prismacolors.
Puh,
$72 for a fucking pack of them.
And we're not even going to talk about Copics.
We're not talking
We're not
about-
talking
Yeah, we're
about
not even getting
Copics.
into markers and shit. And that brings me back to the point. Everything that mainly you two talked about, as far as like going through dude, god damn, that it's a lot of fucking money. It's a lot of fucking paper. It's a lot of fucking waste.
It's a lot of wasted material.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
And that's why I kind of, which Cody kind of made jokes about it, that I wasn't really kind of like sucking at the cock of the fucking iPad.
We're not trying
but-
to jerk either one of them off.
Yeah,
We're
but
not
dude,
trying to lick
they
the
all-
tip of
at the-
any
at the
of them.
same
They
time-
both have pros and cons.
They do.
But at the same time, waste-wise, time-wise, being able to take
Resource-wise
that right
also.
there, especially working in a shop, and not have to worry about somebody else finding or helping me find a reference or printing me off something from the font or fucking, I can do all of that shit
Yep.
in
Oh,
my
yeah.
hand.
It's time efficiency and convenience.
See,
It's perfect for that.
and it takes away the whole, even almost the whole idea of needing a sketchbook.
Yeah.
Because you can find almost anything you need from the internet. You can find a good reference. You could sketch it out if you so choose, or don't.
Yeah.
But you should.
And the
should
thing
do
about
that.
you, like not sketching, you do that. Try to do the perfect line first. That's how I started too. Because after I would trace that one rose 100 times, I wouldn't need to trace it. I can do those perfect lines of that rose because I knew it already. Then when I wanted to do different roses, then I would have to teach myself, okay,
You'd be like, oh,
I know how to do this rose.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do a loose little drawing of the shape of that rose, and then I'm going to add some stuff here. So I'm going to add some stuff there.
And then
it
that's where
turns
the
different.
that's where the sketching
And then if
comes
you
in.
try to do the same loose sketch 2 or 3 times, it's going to be different every single time, which is a good thing. You know, you have versatility.
You have 3 different roses.
But I'm really anything that I draw now, unless it's just straight off the cuff, which you usually can tell when my shit's straight off the cuff because I always do fucked up teeth.
Yeah.
I always have certain ways my shit looks, and it's always weird.
Is that supposed to look fucked?
Right, exactly. But like when I do it straight off my head, man, it tends to look the same.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like with the dick monster that I just drew, I had a reference of a mushroom, had sharp ass teeth, you know, weird looking eyeballs. And the one thing that I like about the iPad is that what used to piss me off the most is that I would have my light box, which weighs 97 pounds. It's literally a
dinosaur,
briefcase.
though.
Yeah, it's a dinosaur.
Yeah.
And it hums when you use it. But I mean,
Probably emits radiation too.
it might. I
probably
probably have fucking colon cancer from it. But like the thing about it is that I would have this big ass thing.
Probably
this
gonna have skin cancer from
Wait,
it.
maybe.
why would you have colon cancer?
Because it's like the worst thing I could
You
think
would
of.
have skin
It killed
cancer.
a superhero.
Yeah.
Like that. But that's what Black Panther, man.
You would have skin cancer.
I don't. It's a. I guess,
It's
sure.
radiation.
I probably should have a tan from the motherfucker too, because it hums like a fucking tanning bed.
Well,
Yeah. But like you would have all this bullshit everywhere. I would be trying to look at my phone and trying to do something, fucking up on the paper, pissing myself off, having to go through another piece of paper. It's just on that I
Yeah.
literally can take the fucking reference and I can put it over here
Yep.
and I can do this and I can go,
Yep.
okay.
It's the same as like
Okay.
looking at a picture on your phone and trying to recreate it.
Yep.
Like your trading card. It's like having the trading card in your hand.
Right.
And trying
But
to
it's
do
just
it.
easier on that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's easy. It's more convenient and it's less time consuming.
I wouldn't dare try to trace a fucking trading card.
No.
It's so small.
No.
Now, I tell you what I have done before. I have put it on the printer and blew it up.
Oh really?
Yeah.
That's
Or,
funny.
or I found a picture of it online and I had blown it up like a Pikachu card or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And I just blow it up and then draw it from there. Or I would turn the fucking paper around and trace it from that. I've also put the paper up on the TV so I can see it through and I would trace it like that.
What I would say is though that whenever I do sketch on paper, I do feel more accomplished whenever I finish a drawing on actual paper than I do on my iPad. It's pretty much, I know it's the same thing, I just feel like I accomplished more doing it on paper. Because
Huh.
I had no help.
I feel
And I'm not saying that I'm using helping tools on my iPad, but I don't know, I just feel more
No, I
accomplished.
can get
Yeah.
that because you did it with your hands.
I
You know what I
created
mean?
with my hands,
it's
yeah.
almost like woodworking, for example.
Yeah.
If you did it with a CNC machine, that's
Yeah.
not you. You're not cutting the wood. You're not sanding it. You're not doing it.
It's like it's like carpentry
Yeah.
versus 3D printing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nothing's wrong with 3D printing. It's just you might feel more accomplished whenever you.
It's almost more authentic.
yes.
I feel.
Yeah.
Because it's handmade. It's got that handmade look to it. That handmade colored type
Yeah, but
of
when
thing
you
to
sketch
it.
out on your iPad, is it not the same
It is.
thing?
It is the same because I'm not using any tools. You know what I'm saying? I'm just using a straight digital pencil and sketching. It's really, I guess, the undo button that kind of makes me
Yeah.
feel not as accomplished. I can still erase with my eraser. It's just like it's much more easier, and I feel it's much more easier because it is. So I just feel more accomplished when I
Yeah,
don't do it.
I don't have that.
It's that-
I
no, no,
love
no,
the
no.
undo button. So
It's that-
It's a blessing. You know what I'm saying?
It's
a
that
blessing not in
comfort,
disguise.
almost. It's that comfort of knowing that, oh, if you fuck up a line, you could just undo it real quick.
Yeah.
I love that. I absolutely love that.
Yeah.
Because if you have your sketch, you have your hard line in it, you have your fucking tracing paper over there, right? If you
Yeah.
fucking right,
Mhm.
make one little fuck line, you're gonna have to white it out.
Yeah.
Either that or just leave it in.
yeah,
But
and it's
but
happened a lot,
but
and it's annoying as shit.
if you're trying, exactly. But now if you're trying to draw something to say like scan into the fucking computer to where it can't have any of that because it'll pick up whiteout too. You can't
Yeah.
do that. You can't fuck up.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you go on the iPad, you can just boop.
Yeah.
Gone,
And another
you
thing
know?
that I kind of favor paper over iPad is that let's say I'm in the middle of sketches on my iPad. My iPad dies, my pen dies. What am I going to do? You know what I'm saying? I got to wait. My sketchbook, my pencil will never die.
Yeah.
They're always 100% charged.
That's the original iPad.
They're always charged up.
Well, and another point, I mean, that me and Cody talked about one day is that just imagine, like, the guys that were doing this, like making flash sheets and shit, before there was light boxes, you know, before there was anything like that. I imagine when the light box showed up, there was probably some old heads that thought that was cheating.
Of course.
You know, that
Yeah.
I mean, I imagine that when they
Yeah.
showed up, it isn't no different from the fucking iPad, dude. I imagine when those things showed up, there was a lot of people going, dude, that's fucked up. You shouldn't be.
You should be able to trace.
You shouldn't be able to draw this rose and then put it on a light box and combine them and know where to erase. You should be able to just do it from
I
the
can
jump.
get that to an
Yeah.
extent, but that also sounds like old heads afraid they're going to get lost in technology.
Stuck in their
But what-
ways.
okay, but
It's
what-
that.
But that's kind of happening.
I'm on your side. You know
Right,
what I'm
but
saying?
that's
Like,
kind of
that's
happening
just-
now.
They're just
Like-
it sounds like they're just getting, scared that technology is passing them
It's a
up,
difference
you know
in
what I'm saying?
generation.
And they can't keep up.
That's all it is.
So I am on your side with that. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely an easier tool to use.
But I mean, I don't know. Me and him have said.
And as long as you draw your two things you want to combine, doesn't matter what if you can put them together, blow them up. As long as you're creating it, it's your artwork. You
It's
know
still
what I'm saying?
creating art. Yeah.
Me and him talked about this, and I don't. I was gonna ask you at the same time. Like, I told him that since I've had the iPad, my line work's gotten better. A lot of stuff that I was doing before, the gracefulness of using that pen on that screen has made my tattoo sharper.
Oh yeah, because it's much harder to get. Besides using the straight, automatic straight line,
No,
and
like the
circle
legit
thing, I know,
flow.
the exact flow. It's much harder to get a cleaner line on the Apple Pencil than it is with a pen.
I think it's
So
because
if
of
you-
the whole pressure
exactly.
sensitivity
So
thing.
if you can get it to where you could freehand nice curves and stuff without using tools on the iPad, then yeah, it's gonna 100% help your game
Yeah.
tattooing and on paper drawing because you have more control. It teaches you control.
Yeah.
And also too, what I like iPad over pencil is that it helps you color theory. It helps you know what colors go better with what because you're able to experiment a lot more. You know what I'm saying? You can try this color with this color, and if you don't like that, try it again. You know what I'm
Undo.
saying?
Undo that
But
motherfucker.
and that goes back to the
Yeah.
undo
Yep.
because
Yeah.
instead of me going through the goddamn Prismacolor, ruining the fucking pencil,
Yeah.
to go, that looks like shit, and then to fucking redo that whole goddamn picture
Yeah.
over again, to fucking
Yeah.
remicron it, redo all this shit,
Yeah.
just to change colors in
Yeah.
a leaf.
So instead of having to print out 5 different copies of something because you don't know what color you want to do it, which I have done. I've done many times
Yeah.
because I'm never sure.
Well, hell,
what,
you're the reason why I got that fucking
I'm
bad
not-
habit there for a little bit.
I'm never sure of what I want to color something until it's like, oh shit, okay, yeah, that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the whole color theory and stuff and fine. I can kind of jumble in my head, kind of picture
but
where
some people
things would go.
But some people that aren't as creative in the head or
It lets them play with
yeah,
it.
they can experiment a lot more.
Yeah.
If somebody has not used to working, let's say you just do black and gray work. Let's say you just came out doing only graphite on pencil or on paper,
Or
what I'm saying?
charcoal or something
yeah,
like
or
that.
anything.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
just black and white, and you don't experiment with colors too much, so you don't know what colors complement what. You don't know what should be cool, what should be warm. The iPad definitely gives you a way to play around and figure out
Yeah.
what you want to do, and definitely helps your color work.
Yeah.
Well, and I definitely think anybody getting into this industry, like starting off,
On paper.
they need to be on paper.
Yeah.
On paper.
They should not be on nothing else.
No, that's 100%.
And the whole thing about you have to pay your dues and anything like that's a little extremist to say. I feel like they need to be on paper simply because us fucking up and learning how to do things the hard goddamn way
Yeah.
is what made it to where when we finally got the iPad, when I finally got it,
Yeah.
I understood things a lot more than I did before.
Yeah.
I understood my line weights. I understood that was going through microns and using
Yeah.
an 8 compared to a 1.
Yeah.
And that helped me understand. But at the same time, it's one of those things where if you start off that way and you do it the hard way, which I feel like has been my whole artistic fucking life. But I mean, because I do everything goddamn upside down.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I had to teach myself how to color. You know, which you both know, the apprenticeship that I had before this was god awful, and nobody would teach me fucking anything. And I had to be on YouTube constantly learning the wrong thing versus the good thing. I had to teach myself how to color. I didn't know what a fucking Prismacolor was when I started over there. And I had to teach myself how to do it, and it was nerve-wracking and it was aggravating as fuck. But now I can pick up Prismacolors and I can make it look fucking clean as shit.
Yeah, I mean, I've never, whenever I can't even remember the first time I picked up a colored pencil to actually like color something, like for real.
Yeah.
But it goes back to the whole thing. Like I didn't learn from anybody either.
You're self-taught.
You know, because I mean, I started drawing whenever I was before I can even remember.
Yeah, you started way. You started way before me.
I started probably before.
I didn't know
before I was 3.
I didn't know this is what I wanted to do as my career until I became a freshman.
Oh
in high
no,
school.
tattooing! I didn't know I wanted to do it until I started doing it.
I didn't know how to draw until I made the conscious decision. Okay,
that's what you want to do.
I want a tattoo.
Okay.
And when I made that decision in my head when I was a freshman, I want a tattoo.
Yeah.
I don't know how to draw.
I need to know how to draw. Yeah.
So I had tunnel vision all through high school. I traced my whole freshman year. I traced everything. And then my sophomore year, I was able to, draw on my own. And then the whole other times, I was just sketching on loose leaf paper.
I tell you what, actually, where the sketching thing came in, it was a Digimon. It was a how to draw Digimon book.
Oh yeah.
Whenever
how to draw character books are good.
Oh fuck yeah, and that's where a lot of this comes from. Whenever I was in school, whenever we would get the Scholastic book orders.
Yeah.
Do you remember those? Whenever we would get those, every now and then they would have a how to draw this or how to draw that, and they had a how to draw Digimon.
Even tools like this, is perfect for sketching and stuff.
Or like the hand.
Yeah, exactly.
Thing. Yeah. But they had a how to draw Digimon, and obviously I fucking got it. I had that. I think I had a Yu-Gi-Oh one. They had like comic book characters. They had a whole thick ass book. They even had tracing paper in it of Marvel characters, like how to draw their body shape and their Wolverine and Spider-Man and all of that stuff. Yeah, I get it. It's your mortal enemy.
Yeah.
But it would show you step by step how they got to where they are, and a lot of it has to do with what? Say it with me. Sketching.
Yeah.
All right, so how do y'all feel about selling art that was done on iPads?
Like if I did something on the iPad...
I'm kind of combine the thing about what you said about with Dave Tattoos, selling his brush sets of like already done Hanyas, already done roses. Okay?
Like, are you talking about like making a thing start to finish and prints of it?
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna do with my fucking killer clowns?
I agree.
Or
with
like
that.
if I did it with the church?
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing. But here's the thing though, whenever you have people that give out brush sets of already made designs, what's stopping somebody from just clicking, a button? I'm going to use Dave Tavinel's rose
and color it,
and then he sells it on his own. That's not his work.
Do you want me to sound like a real piece of shit right now?
You already do.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Always.
It's a hustle, man. And if
I get
somebody
it.
capitalizes on it and somebody's dumb enough to pay for it,
I get it. It's just the morals thing. You know what I'm saying?
But you can't be. Okay,
Let me get back
people that hardcore hustle don't necessarily aren't really.
They don't. They're not thinking about it. They're not thinking I should.
Hustler, listen to this.
All right,
back when I said earlier, when a client walks in and they seen that rose that you stole from somebody and sold it on there, and they bought it. Let's say they want it tattooed. Okay. Well, they want you to draw it. You're fucked. What are you gonna do? Click a button and show it again? You can't. You're not going to be able to recreate it because it's not yours. That's my only issue. Is if I'm from a customer's point of view, if I walk in and I say, I want a rose with a dagger going through it. Okay, you should be able to put a sketchbook in front of them and say, do you want it like this? How do you want it? I'm saying you shouldn't be able to say
you want this one.
You shouldn't say, do you want this one? Do you want that one? Let me try to find one.
Or it should at least be something that you already had
whenever if I go into a shop and somebody goes, all right, let me look one up, I lose confidence in my artist. That's not everybody, but that's just me.
No, and that's right.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, if somebody, I'm not gonna look. If anybody was to decide to be a piece of shit, grab some artwork and do what you're saying.
Just take that template, put it on their thing, and sell it. I did this.
To me,
stealing art.
You both know me. You both know me well enough to know that I don't really get in your fucking business. Whatever the fuck you do, you do.
I get it.
So it's one I might
To each
think
his own,
it's a
yeah.
little fucked up, but I'm also not going to sit there and be like, man, you shouldn't have done that. You know, I mean,
not gonna
I'm just
look. I can't stop you from doing it. It's a free fucking country. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? If you want to steal artwork and then sell it as your own, by all means do it. You might as well call yourself. Okay?
Well, I mean, I think it becomes a little shallow to do it, but because I feel like, and I know this sounds fucking weird, but I feel like if shit don't have a little bit of me in there, you know what I mean? I mean, even if I'm in a rush trying to do a tattoo and somebody's like, "Ooh, I want like this," I still have to fuck with, like, I can't
You have
just
to make it your own.
I can't just leave it alone.
No,
I have
mean,
to
I feel
fucking poke a
like-
stick at it. Like, I can't
Yeah.
just leave it alone.
I feel like that's how it should be with anything. Even these little Pinterest tattoos. That come in.
And
Now,
I
the only
changed them. I
thing-
changed the shit out of the Pinterest
And
tattoos.
there's nothing wrong with changing the design to make it your own. I just don't like the idea of having like a whole sheet of already pre-made roses, pre-made Hanyas, pre-made dragon heads. You know what I'm saying? And all you have to do is there's no effort. You're totally taking the drawing out of.
You're taking
of
the
drawing.
art out of it. You're
Exactly.
taking the art.
You're taking the
part
art out of it, and especially if you make money off of it. But like I said, you do whatever you want. Whatever, if you can sleep with yourself at night, that's
Yeah.
fine.
Well, then I would consider that a
just-
thief.
It's exactly.
That'd be like, I mean,
I'm not accusing you of doing that or anything like that. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying?
you're a fucking thief.
Apparently not.
No, I'm not accusing
No.
anybody. I'm just speaking my
See,
opinion.
but I
about
feel like anyone can steal art at any time.
They can.
That's the only problem.
They do
And
it every
stuff
day.
like the whole template thing, right? It kind of does go back to like, oh well, you know, people are stealing his shit anyway. You might as well capitalize
But
on it.
they could do the same thing with a
Anything.
fucking light box.
No, they can do the
you
same
can do
thing.
it regardless.
Yes, you can.
If they wanted
It
to
just makes
steal
this
it,
a lot easier.
if
It
they
makes
wanted
it-
to steal it,
if somebody's lazy, okay,
they'll find a way.
they'll find a way to do it. But if somebody's really lazy, they're more inclined to just click a button than having to put a piece of tracing paper and try to copy it. Because what if your fucking lines suck? What if your outlines
What if you have
suck?
Parkinson's?
Well, but see, okay, so that brings another point up is
You shouldn't be
that,
drawing.
well, not just that. If anybody, whether they're more pro paper, more pro iPad, if you can't pull the lines off of anything you do, you see what I'm saying? Like, if you can't pull it off,
Don't
then
touch it.
it doesn't matter. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter if you're pro one or pro the other. That's always my big issue too. Because if somebody's just preaching at the altar of paper, right? And that's fine. They can get a light box, maybe not even have a light box. If they can draw something out and fucking turn that bit, they copy it, turn that bitch into a stencil. But if they can't achieve, because unfortunately with undo buttons and with erasers, something don't go right, you're done.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If something happens and you can't quite, pull that line off because when you were on paper you erased it 30 times, or when you were on an iPad you fucking did the undo button 30 times, that's where I think the issue should lie. I don't think Dave Tattoo should have got shit for his fucking templates.
I don't think you should have got shit either.
Yeah, I think that it should boil down to, if they can't pull it off, then that's where it ends.
Yeah.
Regardless of what, if somebody wants to use a template, yes, I don't think it's right. Because to me, especially if you get popular and you're doing a lot of roses, it's
Okay.
going to start looking real goddamn
What if you're
repetitive.
what if you're not a tattoo artist, but you have an iPad and you have Procreate and you download Dave's templates? You can still appear to have that skill.
You can
and
still make it seem like, yeah.
You can still appear to have that skill.
You can still be like,
when you
look what
really
I
don't.
drew.
And you could make money off that. And I just
It's not
don't
right.
agree with that. It's
I
not
don't.
right.
I don't know. I feel like
Even
that's a cop out.
But like I said, if you can't draw, you're more inclined to click the button than you are to trace it. If you're lazy, you're not going to trace it.
Well, and that's what goes back to the original thing I said. If somebody's dumb enough to believe somebody like that, because that's the whole thing with me not ever tracing. I mean, not tracing, but
Sketching.
Sketching. 'Cause I don't fucking know how. I suck at it. It's terrible. You sit there and watched me when I had to draw that peony. You brought me one of your peonies, And Luis watched me
Yeah.
have the peony right here, and as I'm talking and bullshitting, I'm looking at what he did, and the only thing I did was when I drew it, I didn't sketch that bitch. I did that motherfucker line for line staring at it, but I drew it skinny.
Yeah.
So it would fit in the dude's arm.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And he watched me do it.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing about it is, and it looked fucking just like it when we put it on the dude's arm. It was just...
Yeah, it was just shrunk.
Exactly. And
Squished.
the whole thing about it is that I don't ever think it needs to be a pissing contest, whether somebody can prove it or not.
Yeah.
But if it gets to the point to where, for instance, me and you that day, I needed a penny, and I needed it right then.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't have time to fucking research it, figure it out. I didn't have time for you to like,
Yeah.
okay, Seth, look, do this real quick.
Yeah.
No. And I told you, do you have one of these?
Yeah.
And Luis came and got it, and I sit there, no light box, and I drew it.
Yeah.
Now, the thing about it, the point I'm getting at is that I don't feel like that is a proving myself point,
Right.
but I can do it. Back to his point is that if somebody was to show up and they have all this artwork, all this shit printed off the iPad,
Yeah.
and like he said, if they can't sit there and see the artist go, oh, okay,
Okay, yeah, I'll draw it again.
and see
And
them
I guess-
do it with something, yeah, I completely agree
And I
with
guess
him on
another
that.
thing that kind of I don't agree with the template thing is because let's say we're drawing peonies, okay? Me and you, we're doing peonies. I'm gonna go through like 30 sketches of this peony just to make sure it's perfect. You
Yep.
know, I'm trying to make this really nice, immaculate looking peony design, okay? And I spend maybe 2 hours drawing this, okay? Putting my time and effort, all the and everything, all my practice is paying off. I draw it, okay, for a client. And then you come around and you spent $5 on a peony sheet, okay, with a whole bunch of already pre-made perfect peonies, and you spent 2 seconds clicking a button, and then they turn around and say yours is better. I'm gonna, be pretty upset.
I'd be
because
pretty mad about
you didn't do
that.
shit. I put the work in, you did it. Not saying you can't achieve what you just did. I just think it's kind of shitty.
No, and that I agree with.
Yeah.
It's
That's why I only like textures and
I
brushes.
think maybe to
Yeah.
your point, maybe I misunderstood it. Like it would bother you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was trying to say that even if it did bother me,
Yeah.
I don't
I'm
give
not-
a fuck.
I'm
You
not
know what
gonna-
I'm
yeah,
saying?
I'm
Like,
not
I
gonna,
just don't.
and if, like I said, it would bother me, but I'm not going to tell the client, that you didn't draw that.
You didn't
I'm
draw
not going
that.
to try to fuck you out of the money.
Right.
I'm just going to be like, well,
You know what you did.
that's kind of fucked up.
So-
You know what I'm
It-
saying?
So I guess
it's one of those, you know what you fucking did.
Right,
Come
but
on
I
now.
guess it's our personalities too, because it
also
would be
it-
one of those where Luis would be like, "That's fucked up,"
It'd make
and
you-
me, I'd be like, "I don't give a
Yeah.
fuck." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
it's
it's
just-
fucked, man. It sucks for you.
Yeah, it's like I
Almost
don't
like being
care.
a poser. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine with the whole template thing, I guess. I just, because
Now, if
mainly
you- now-
because I know people are going to do whatever the fuck they want. You can't
if you
stop
use
people from
templates
stealing
for,
shit.
If you use templates for what they're meant to be, you buy a whole peony sheet, you find a perfect peony,
Yeah.
you click on it, and then you use that as a reference
Use
to
it
try
as a
to make a
reference.
difference. I see nothing wrong with that. It's the same thing as finding one on the internet or finding one in sketch. It's the same exact
Yeah.
thing. I just don't think you should use the templates as your design.
See, it just goes back to the only thing. People are people, though. You
They're
can't
gonna
stop
do-
anyone.
You can't, and I'm
You
not,
know?
not trying to.
It
I'm
would
not
be
gonna
in
stop you.
a
I'm just-
perfect world.
yeah.
That would be so sick, but then you would never have
But do you think
copycats or anything like that.
Do you
Yeah.
think that's why Dave got shit on? Because people already know what's going to happen.
I
They-
believe.
they-
I
they
believe
they
that
already know
they
that
keep-
they're going
they
to
think
sue
it's
the
selling
shit
out.
out.
I haven't seen the post you're talking about. In my head, I can imagine the people that are telling him it's fucked up is probably coming from what I'm coming from.
Probably other tattoo
Now, I
artists
can't
like that.
say
too.
100% because I haven't read the comments. I didn't look at the
Well,
post.
it was a video. I swear to God, I sent it to you and him.
No, I remember seeing it. He was saying how people are saying that I'm a piece of shit because I'm a sellout because I made these template sets.
I don't think he's a
You know,
sellout.
they say I'm
He's
selling
just trying
out.
to capitalize and make a living.
I'm just letting scratchers get a hold of this and
Yeah.
not have to draw and all of that stuff. But his whole thing
There
was
you go.
that
What you said. Not have to draw.
not have to draw.
That's where I say no.
That's when he was. That's when
Yeah.
he was like, look, the whole thing about templates, and this goes for any templates
if
too.
his, okay, if his,
it's not intended
if
for
his-
copying.
Okay, that's fine. If it's not intended for copying, it's intended for referencing, perfect. Now, if he made these templates in sole reason so scratchers didn't have to draw, he's kind of fucked up.
Oh no! If he made it for people not to have to draw, then that's fucked. But
If
he
it
said,
makes drawing easier,
no.
I can understand.
He was
But
saying how people are saying that. Oh, you're just making this for scratchers, whatever.
Okay.
You were making
Well, then
this
I misunderstood
easier
what
for
you said.
people. You
Okay.
know what I mean?
But at the same time, you know, our boss has told us the one reason why he didn't want us to be reliable on them is because if something stupid happens, we don't have them, something breaks, whatever the case may be.
We need to know how to draw.
We should be able to do it.
100%.
But the difference is that this is where, in this area, I feel like we don't really have to worry about that part of it. 'Cause all three of us can do it. It's not an issue. It's
Yeah.
actually a non-issue.
Yeah.
Whether we can fucking draw or not.
We can all
But we
draw.
have met
Well, we're
people that
fortunate
have
enough.
came in
We're
here.
fortunate enough to have that skill, you know, to
No,
do it in front
and
of
and
people.
that's fine.
I see where you're
but
going.
all of
Yeah.
us have done this for so long. It's kind of second nature. But we've met people in here that chose not to
Yeah.
advance themselves, chose not to fucking draw, chose not to do anything.
Yeah.
Their whole careers were based off of
Lies.
either lies
Yeah,
or
and that-
or
and
drawing
lies-
shit around.
and that's
Lies
being-
and deceit.
That's being deceptive, and I don't agree with that. If you suck at lining, but you have this perfectly crisp line design,
Yeah.
you're deceiving people. It's almost like putting filters on your colors. You know what I mean? People think, oh wow, his colors
Yeah.
are this bright,
That
and
black
blacks
is
are
that black.
I want to go to him over this guy because this looks way better than that.
This
whenever
drawing looks
this
better
is
than
a
that.
lie.
Yeah.
And that's actual
Yep.
work.
It's
you know what
one
I'm
of
saying?
those things where it's like you see something somebody drew, right?
Well, like
and
you
you'd
said,
be
you
like,
know,
and, but
people
then
are
you
gonna
go,
do
then you
it.
go back and look at their tattoos, and you're like, wait, this looks a lot different than the drawing. You know what I mean? Like that thing shaded,
Yeah.
and then the tattoo shaded, or even done. It's like two completely different people did it, and then
100%.
that's what kind of
Yeah.
gives the whole distrust thing.
Yeah. And I'm not pro paper, con iPad. I'm both.
Mhm.
I believe they both can, live in harmony.
Yeah.
Because, there's a hell of a lot more things you can do on an iPad that you can do on paper. It
Yep.
makes it a lot easier. I think you should use them together. Just like, for instance, when I'm doing tattoos, I love to sketch on my iPad because it's easier to, if you fuck up, you can undo the line, you know what I'm saying? I love to sketch on my iPad, and then I print out the sketches, and then I'll hardline it on paper.
Mhm.
That's what I like. I like to mix it.
Yeah, I can see that. I haven't hardlined on paper in so long, dude. The last thing I hardlined on paper, I think, was little numbers,
Yeah.
and that's because my iPad was dying or
Yeah.
dead. But I mean, then that just goes back to it. At least I can, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And the
you
lines were
can.
clean. They were nice. It was
You
itty
can.
bitty. It was itty bitty numbers.
Yeah.
And they looked fine. Whatever. So, at least
Well, I
I'm
mean-
able to pull a clean line with a micron or something if
Yeah.
I needed to.
But I also, I don't know. Like I wished, even on the iPad, I wish I could sketch. I wish I could.
Dude, it's
I
really
can't-
not that hard.
But it is though.
Because
Because
we should do a segment about sketching one day. About teaching how to sketch certain things.
Yeah.
well, I
We
mean,
might
but
do that.
Yeah.
well, I mean, but the thing about it is that it looks like a fucking mess to me.
Look, that's
Like,
the whole
I
beauty. That's the beauty in it,
But
though,
I
my
can't-
dude. You gotta find the beauty in the chaos of the sketch. It's not supposed to look good. It's always going to look shitty.
But see, that's
It's always
but,
gonna
Until
look
you
shitty.
line it. Until you
Right.
line
Not
it.
even then. It's going to start looking like something, and then you're going to start refining that something, and then you're going to start feeling this sense of fucking gratification. And this is all in hands, okay?
I-
Not
I get it.
fuck it. Even with the iPad, even with
no,
the
no,
iPad.
yeah, because I've watched both of you sketch with
now,
the iPad.
Now the
too,
only
like-
thing here, you can make another layer on the iPad, okay, and still go over that sketch, even in a more refined sketch.
Exactly.
On paper, I find it's even more. This comes back to yours, where it's more authentic. It gives you
It's more
more.
accomplished.
It's more pleasing to be able to do it. Like it's really, really light.
Right,
Stop.
Because it's physical. Because it's
really,
physical. You
really,
can
really
feel it.
light. You can feel the vibration of the paper. You can feel the vibration of that
And
lead
you
going.
slowly watch something come to fruition.
Exactly.
And I get
It's
it.
physical. You can hold it.
It's like
Well,
your,
but
it's like
it's-
it's like your mind is getting a fucking hard on.
Right, but I also told Cody this one time. I think the reason why I can't sketch is because I try to draw. When I try to draw shit that's in my head, the person that draws in my head's a bad motherfucker. Like the person in my head that does artwork is fucking flawless.
Oh, he doesn't sketch.
And well, that's the thing is that in my head it's always the finished product.
Oh, yeah,
It's
yeah.
never.
I just think
yeah.
you just haven't put enough time in the practice.
Oh no,
of
and
sketching.
that's completely on point. I wasn't taught that way.
Yeah.
I
I feel
had
like
to learn how to do shit line for line.
Yeah.
I feel like the
And-
artists in our heads are always better than what we are. Like I see so many things in my fucking head that I can never fucking draw.
Definitely.
Never.
All the
Dude,
time.
I see this
Michelangelo would want to
nastiest
take
shit.
lessons from me. Like,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
how fucking good
Like
I am.
in my head, I can do shit like Medusa in like a fucking 2 hours.
Yeah.
Just 2 colors
shit
and
in my head,
fucking
it's
fingers.
done.
You just go,
Yeah, like
and
it's
then
done.
it's on there.
And I love in my head when I go, "Pff, I got this,
yeah, I could do that.
and
plus-
I don't have it. I don't have
I
it.
can't do that.
No,
Whenever
I
I,
can't.
sketch on the iPad, I love the fact that you could watch it back over. You can
The
watch
video
you can
playback?
watch yourself sketch it out.
See, that's fun. I
I love
love
that.
that. I
I'm
do
glad
love
y'all
that.
had fun doing that because I watch it going, I made a lot of mistakes.
and that's
But
what
that's the best
That's
part.
what I
Go,
love about it.
oh,
I
that's
love
the
watching
best
the mistakes.
part.
That's the best part because you learn from it. You know, okay, maybe I did that a whole bunch. Now I know. What
I don't
not
want to do
do
that anymore.
Exactly. You learn from your mistakes.
See, but that's what's so good about paper too, is because you have to learn to fuck up before you're good.
Yeah.
You have to fuck up so many times. You have to.
Well,
you
I'm
can't
still,
just.
I'm still fucking up.
You can't
Like,
just
I-
be
I still
perfect,
fuck
and this
up.
is why you gotta get. This is really why you gotta get out of the whole fucking just line for line thing. You're gonna fuck up. You're gonna make yourself mad. You're gonna keep going. Nope.
And if, the
Nope.
thing is too, if,
Nope.
if you learn how to
Nope.
sketch and you
Fuck!
and you can sketch
Yeah.
at anything, you know what I'm saying? It's more practice of drawing other things. You know, you can draw a lot more things if you know how to sketch. You know what I'm saying? Because you're able to loosely sketch a shape of something and then keep on refining it, keep on tweaking it. You know what I'm saying?
And then that helps you kind of build your own style also.
Yeah.
Like that fucking the fox I did, and that's just from a picture of a running fox. I started out with a sketch, and then I started putting maybe like a flat line here, make it look more blocky. The tail, I made that look more blocky.
Yeah.
The lines aren't clean. The lines aren't, they're not crispy. They're jagged. They're supposed to be jagged. They're fat down here. They're whatever over here. The eyes look weird. The fucking shading is weird. But that all comes from sketching.
Yeah.
If I see something in the sketch too that shouldn't necessarily be there, I'm like, you know what? That looks fucking tight. I think I'm gonna go
It's
with
like,
that.
whenever I sketched all 4 of these different flowers, you know what I'm saying? It took me a long time to know how to draw. Lotus is different than peonies, different than chrysanthemums, different than roses. You know what I'm saying? It took me a long time, to get them right.
Yeah.
And I'm just now figuring out how I want to do the center of my chrysanthemums. All my chrysanthemums before, they've not had a center part. They've either been closed or if they're open, the petals covered up.
Something's in the middle.
Because I don't know how to do the middle. But how did I get this one now? Is because I just kept on sketching. I kept on playing with different ideas.
that, and there's a lot of different things
exactly.
you can do.
And now I finally found, how I want each center to be on each flower. Because
Yeah.
I've just sketched it, you know what I'm saying?
See, and then there's so many different ways, but I mean, I don't know, man. There's not really any comparing.
Yeah,
There's a lot of comparing, but both have pros, both have cons.
exactly.
I can't. I'm not all for one or all for the other. I like being in the middle.
They
of
both can live in harmony, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
They
They
can.
both complement each other. They both have pros and cons. And there's
But-
nothing
Well,
wrong using both.
I will say that I feel like the iPad is just another
funner?
advancement.
Oh, it's definitely fun.
Oh, yeah.
Well, no, but it's another, especially in this industry, it's just one more piece of technology
tool.
that has came along to push people up
Yeah.
a little bit higher.
It's meant to advance.
But the light boxes did that in the beginning. Everything, it just started pushing shit up. Because
Yeah.
for a light box, I'm pretty sure there was a motherfucker with some glass and a bulb. And, before they actually showed
Before
up.
we had
Dog.
power supplies, they had car batteries.
Exactly.
I'm telling you, they fucking put that shit up to the sun.
Yeah, there ain't no
That's
telling.
probably what they
But
do.
I
It's
mean,
just evolution.
They got
Right,
a clear
yeah.
piece of linen and
But
put it up
that's-
to the sun.
But that's why I feel like it shouldn't be a battle. I
It
feel like
shouldn't be
it
a
should
battle.
just be recognized.
It
If
shouldn't be
people
a-
do shitty things with them, they're gonna do shitty things with them.
People
but
are
the
people.
like us that are actually using them as a step up, we're getting that one-up mushroom.
Yeah.
We're doing one extra cool thing. Then that's what they're meant for.
Yeah. They're
People that
there
scratch, people that don't want to learn, don't want to advance themselves.
It's the perfect tool
You
for
can't
them.
help them.
But at the same time, like they're going to keep on the same track that they're on. They're not going to try to learn shit. They're not going to try to change. And me being on there, like it's just, I don't know, man. It's helped.
It's
my
supposed to
fucking
aid
ability in tattooing
in
out
progressing.
crazy.
That's what it's
crazy.
supposed to do.
Would you agree if somebody only did iPad that they would get lazy?
Only?
Yes.
Like never touched
They would,
paper?
They would stop doing paper and just switch to iPad only. You think they
No,
would get lazy?
no, because I feel like the muscle memory is still there.
I've been on paper.
I meant
Look,
with all the different tools that you can use, like straight lines, circles, and all that. to
I've
do
been
it
on
for you.
paper. I've been on paper my
Okay.
whole life. All right. Whenever
Yeah.
I switched to that thing, I haven't drawn on paper in so long,
Yeah,
dude.
what I'm getting is that like all the features you have, like duplication, straight lines,
Now,
circles.
the
we
straight
have-
lines,
but
the
we-
straight lines and the circles, we have
Rulers
Rulers
and
and
circle
circle
templates.
stencils.
Yeah. Okay. What about duplication? Like, let's say I'm drawing a
I
whole
don't
cherry
really
blossom.
use it.
Well, I'm
That-
just saying people
Okay.
do though. Let's say I'm drawing a whole cherry blossom tree. Okay.
See-
Normally, I would have to draw every single cherry blossom the same. Now, all I have to do is draw one good one, and then I can just copy paste
See,
them all over.
and if that's the way you want to do it,
I
that's
don't
fine.
remember that I can do that.
See, no, if that's the way you,
So,
if that's the way you want to do it, that's totally
Yeah.
fine. But I like even if I did do a cherry blossom tree or like 2 roses, I like having differentiation.
Me too. That's why I
between
would prefer to
things.
sketch
You know what I
each
mean?
individual one because it gives character to each one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Each one's different. Each petal's different. You know, one might be
Exactly.
fatter, one might be skinnier. This flower is different than this flower, whatever. But yeah, it gives
Exactly.
it different, more personality.
but see, that goes back to me looking at something. If I was drawing a cherry blossom tree, I'd have to have it. There's a lot of times, even when I'm on there, that I will turn the opacity all the way down so I can barely see what the fuck is even there.
So you just got to get an idea.
It's like a
Yeah.
tissue paper going over it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Right, but I turn it down so much that I can't even really. It's like a haze.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm doing my own shit.
Well, that's
but when
the-
I
that's
do
the best
this, I understand. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because the roses that I did today, I literally took what Ashley did to the middle of her roses, where it's just 2 humps.
Yeah.
And instead of doing all that little intricate bullshit, I went, fuck that, it worked for Ashley. Wop, wop, and I just did 2 humps.
Yeah.
And I mean,
We're gonna have to do a whole thing on sketching. You know what? That's what we're gonna do next. We're gonna do teaching Seth how to sketch.
Oh, Jesus.
That's what we're gonna do. Are you down for that?
100%.
100%.
Can I at least have a fucking reference?
Nope.
Fuck that.
You're
What the
gonna-
fuck?
I'll tell you what.
I was gonna say yeah.
Nope. I tell you what. You'll have a reference that we draw.
Oh, that's fine.
All right.
Oh, but I can't do what I did to the peony. I've actually got to fucking sketch it.
We're gonna
you
sit
have
there.
to draw a loose shape, and then add the things to it.
Oh, this is gonna be.
Like,
a fun
we'll
video.
draw. We'll say.
We'll guide you through it.
You know, we'll
Yeah,
say we'll draw a little.
We're all gonna learn.
We'll draw little cherry blossoms with some leaves, like the one on your thumb.
Fine.
We'll draw some stuff like that.
And you know how you start that off? Well, not this one, but a
Circle.
regular cherry blossom. You start out, you do a perfect circle,
Rough circle,
and then another circle in the center,
and then you go
draw
from there.
5 little lines like a star. That's where you know where the center of each petal is going to
Yep.
be, and then you draw around them.
And there's a lot of I have different ways of doing everything.
Well,
I
yeah.
can sketch a flower. This is something for a different
Yeah.
one. The
Yeah.
sketching
I
is for
think-
another one.
I think other episodes we should do, like, how to draw this, how to sketch this out,
Yeah.
or how we draw this, not how
and
to draw, how
and
we
maybe
draw it.
and maybe we'll do that. But
I think that'll be fun.
I think I think the consensus is there's not a good one. There's not a bad one.
No.
iPad, paper, fuck
Whatever.
it, dude. If you draw on whatever the fuck you want. But
whatever floats your boat.
don't
Yeah.
steal. Don't be a thief. Good enough.
Don't be a piece
enough.
of shit. Good
I
enough.
think that's good enough.
I think it's good enough.
Good enough. All right. 48 minutes.
Good job, guys.
48 minutes, boys.
You know we're gonna.
And
have
it
to edit,
didn't.
We're gonna have to edit you out. Say.
Yeah, I was gonna say.